Welcome back to Boys on Film. Today we're reviewing the movie Hot Summer Nights. So, Timothée Chalamet starring in one of the biggest films of last year, which of course was Call Me By Your Name.
Yes.
Which you loved.
Yes, you loved it too. What are you
not as
talking
much
about?
as you did.
You loved it.
Wow. What's he like in this? Because this is a very different role, judging by the trailer.
Yeah, so I actually saw this movie a year ago, and I was like, I wrote a review of it, and nothing ever really happened with this film. I was kind of like, they didn't even have a trailer. I'm like, I kind of forgot about it after a while. It's a good film. It's set in the 80s. Stars Timothée Chalamet. Half of it is like John Hughes, teenage movie,
I like
in the
sound
80s.
of that. Yeah.
And then it gets into the other half of the movie. It starts to become a bit weird and twisted as these two kids set up a little weed business that kind of starts to get a little bit big.
I like the sound of that too. I'm not condoning drug use. I'm just saying it sounds good.
Hey, yourself.
I was hoping you'd show up.
Guess who got lucky?
I can't get her out of my mind.
Yeah, I remember leaving the film going, wow, that was a very interesting film. It did feel like a John Hughes, movie from the 80s, Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club sort of vibe. And I was like, oh, that actor is so good. But it was a cast of unknowns back then, and they came out and they did the Q&A, and they all were really proud of their performances and everything, and it has a very 80s feel to it. And then, again, I heard nothing about this film. And even I went to South by Southwest this March, and then, still heard nothing about the film. And then just 3 days ago, they dropped the trailer for Hot Summer Nights, and I'm like, yeah, I know why they waited so long.
Makes perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, because Timothée Chalamet, how fast can you rise getting nominated for Best Actor for Call Me By Your Name? So now he's the centerpiece of this movie.
Of course. What a shame, though. I mean, that's crazy in a way, because if the movie's good, they shouldn't have to market it just because of the success of Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how these things work. I think they kind of need to, depending on, I guess, when the actor is available to do promo for it and things like that. Because he was so young when he shot this movie. I mean, you can see from the trailer. You can see from the trailer how young he looked. But yeah, I think they just realized, if we hold off a year before we put this movie out, then we might be onto something, because Timothée definitely is going to bring in some people.
The movie industry wants to make money, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to make money. So cash in on that star power, really. But the film is definitely worth watching. I quite enjoyed it. It's not what you expect either. You think it's a sort of a teen movie about, hot summer nights on the beach, teens doing what teens do, and then they get embroiled into this weed business, and things kind of take a dark turn.
So they don't shy away from that, because obviously the storyline is potentially dark. They don't glamorize it and fluff it up. Hollywood
it goes from 80s teen movie, which is a bit feel good, to really dark and twisted.
Yeah, and we should say Timothée Chalamet isn't playing a gay character this time. It looks quite full on, those sex scenes there.
Timothée he did Lady Bird as well, so I think they just kind of had to pace everything out with him. But his star is definitely risen to the top really quickly, so I think it was a smart move for them to just hold off on the movie. It wasn't one of those movies that everyone had to see as soon as it came out.
So you're saying, because he's obviously risen to be a big star now, he's not so great in this because it's an earlier film?
No, he's amazing in it. I mean, the whole cast, when I saw it, though, is a bunch of unknowns, really. They've been in a few other things before, but the cast is so really fresh and new. And the director is pretty new as well. So everyone's quite new. So I think they do have a minor indie hit on their hands. So I think at this time it's just about timing. And I think since they held off, and then Timothée got nominated for Best Actor, now's a good time to probably release that movie.
Cinematically, it looks quite slick as well, judging by that trailer. It looks like these people know what they're doing.
It's too extreme. It's very light and airy, and then it's a bit dark and twisted, as you can see in some of the shots. But yeah, I haven't seen this movie in over a year, but I have seen it. I remember I liked it. I reviewed it. I gave it a really good review. So I kind of can't wait to see it again now and see it with a fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah. So your review is on eqmusicblog.com.
It is, yes.
If you want to read it, check it out online. What's your star rating? Can you remember what you gave it?
I'll probably give this one 3.75.
Okay, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, we'll be back for another review soon. Movie reviews on Friday and TV reviews on Monday. See you next time.